life. It's Dukes and Bell on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. We start off every day and every hour by saying, hey, man, how about these Braves back-to-back nights? They come from behind, but last night was incredibly special on so many levels, guys. And I got to say this. We've just witnessed, and we're witnessing, because it's not done yet, the single greatest season in Braves history for any individual. I truly believe that, Mike. And listen, we have had unbelievable players here, from the Chippers, obviously, to Henry Aaron, God bless his soul. We know the kind of players that have been in this organization. But for a single season, Mike, we've not seen anything like this. And for all the greatness that's come through, nobody's been able to do what we saw last night.
No, and it's historic. And, yeah, I thought for a second, when they get to this milestone, do they have a plan? They did. And sorry, Cubbies. I mean, enjoy a few extra minutes in Atlanta as we break your heart a second time. But it was historic. And also, another thing. For the Braves, with everybody bending over backwards in L.A. and ESPN having a headquarters in L.A., it's nice to puff your chest out for your guy and make it a bigger moment, which I kind of thought about more when I saw the highlights this morning and again on MLB Network. I like that.
I did too. And by the way, we don't have to apologize for anybody, to anybody. Atlanta, when our players do something special, something historic, we all have to embrace it. I don't care about what other cities think. I don't care about what other announcers think. I have no problems with what happened last night. And the tribute was perfect, by the way, because nobody's ever done 40-50, 40-60, right, or now 40-70. Nobody. So in the moment, to have a tribute, Mike, right after he steals the base, and oh, by the way, if he doesn't steal the base, does he score the winning run? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Stolen bases matter. So he steals the base, and then all of a sudden the tribute hits, and everybody's like, wow, that was on cue, but it was perfect.
Yeah, now, does it throw off? Sorry, it's a little history. There's some history in the making. MVP season, the season where everything comes together for this guy. It goes all, I've said this, goes all the way back to winter ball, playing in Venezuela and just looking like he was at another level, right? And then it's continuing through this season.
404-726-0929. We are talking to you about one of the greatest sports moments in Atlanta sports history. It just is. And I have to tell you guys, I've been doing this a long time. Been fortunate enough to be at some really special things that have happened in sports. Not because I knew it was going to happen. It's all chance. Mike and I talk about this. The reason why we love going to games is because you never know what's going to happen. You might see, the Dolphins score 70 in a game that you're at, and you go, I just saw history. So there's something special about being at these games, but it's been my job for a very long time. And so I've seen a lot of different things. But Mike, I also, I didn't witness the immaculate reception, okay?
Right.
I mean, seriously, there are things in sports that we've seen, and everybody says, oh, I was there. I didn't see Buckner, all right, the ball go through his hands. I wasn't there. But to say that I got a chance to see this with the team that I love, my hometown team, it's something special, and I hope you guys as fans take that in. You're going to tell your kids about it. Their kids will tell their kids about it because it's special to us, and it's very rare that you get a chance to experience that. This is not a World Series, which is a team thing and a city thing. This is one of those individual milestones, Mike, that something happens, it's crazy, and you go, I saw that.
You were there last night, or you were there for any part of that, his MVP season? You and I were talking about this before the show today. My dad, because obviously I was too young, but my old man talked about seeing Willie Mays in his prime, and seeing Roberto Clemente in his prime, and things like that. And he always, my dad got to see Jim Brown. That's why my old man before, Jim Brown is the greatest athlete I've ever seen. Oscar Robertson for basketball. For you, it's funny you mentioned, I got to see wide right with I saw a lot of wide lefts and wide rights at Florida State. So some of those are painful.
Yeah.
Great for Miami. Got to see Buffalo's, his wide right, Norwood, the Giants win Super Bowl 25. Got to see the Buckner play. But that's different. Some of those are mistakes. This is greatness. This is witnessing a guy hitting a huge milestone. I got to see Marino break, at the time, it was huge when he beat Tarkenton's all-time passing record. And now that was left in the dust subsequently.
Yeah, I think the Marino thing just is special because nobody in 84 was doing any of that. Nobody was throwing the ball and expecting anybody to throw for 5,000 yards. So he set the bar, and now everybody's shooting for that. It's Dukes and Bell at Sports Radio 92.9 The Game, 404-726-0929. We will open up the phones a little bit later on. And, Turtle, let's put a poll up because I think this is the single greatest season that we've seen by any Braves player, okay? And we've seen Hall of Famers in this organization. And whether it was a pitcher, and John Smoltz comes on this show, and Glavine, and Maddox, or whether it was an everyday guy, and Chipper Jones, or Andrew Jones, this is different. And I think it is that special moment and that special place, Mike, where you put it above everything else and say, for a single season, nobody's ever been better than Ronald Acuña.
Now, here in Atlanta, there's been some amazing moments. If you got to see Dominique back in the old days of the Omni, because every night there was, that human highlight reel. You got to see that. To see Michael Vick, to be one of the lucky 70,000 that was there when Mike Vick came back from the leg injury in 2003, standing in still gives me goosebumps, standing in the tunnel, and then that amazing dive where he seems to be like floating for like 5 yards against Carolina. That's one you can say, but you're right. This is one, if you're a Braves fan, lucky enough to be there, or this season, to say you saw Ronald Acuña in one of the greatest seasons in baseball history.
All right, guys, we got plenty to talk about, plenty to get to, but it is the thing that I just want to enjoy. I want to be in the moment and enjoy it. And, by the way, we just clinched. We're going to have home field throughout the NLCS, which is great. One more win. We'll have, World Series home field advantage throughout. All of that stuff matters because once we get past this weekend and we take that next step into the postseason, Atlanta, we got to do work. We got to do work. We've got to do what we've done all season, and that's get out of the NLDS, and I don't care who it is, and then get out of the NLCS. I don't care who it is. They got to come through us. And then, Mike, do what we expect to do this season with this historic run that we've had, and that is, of course, win the World Series. You guys can follow us. He's Mike Bell, ATL. I'm at Put 'em Up. See Dukes. The radio show is Dukes and Bell 929. Follow the radio station at 929 The Game. Stay up on everything that's going on in the world of sports, of course, and you can follow us as well as you can watch the show on Twitch, twitch.tv/ATL929. And, of course, we are on YouTube at 929 The Game.
By the way, in case you guys are following along, the Cubbies, that really, these two backbreakers for the Cubbies between the Suzuki error and then last night. The Marlins right now sit as the 6th seed. Marlins, as it stands now, would play the Brewers as the 3 seed. Phillies would play Arizona as the 5 seed. And we would get the winner of Philly and Arizona. That probably means Philly. So that's the only team that scares me because of their ability to bash. And our pitching is trumped by their hitting. And certainly their pitching is very inconsistent, so you could call the pitching maybe a push. But that's why it's a little bit worrisome. But, yeah, man, in the meantime, enjoy the ride. But it is winding down, and then we'll see how the rest affects Max Fried and Charlie Morton and everybody else.